गाये गणपति जगवंदन, गाये गणपति जगवंदन, गाये गणपति जगवंदन, गाये गणपति जगवंदन, शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन, शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन, गाये गणपति जगवंदन, गाये सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक, सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक, कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबदायक, कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबदायक, गाये गणपति जगवंदन। मोदक प्रिय मुद मंगल दाता, मोदक प्रिय मुद मंगल दाता, विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विधाता, विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विधाता, गाये गणपति जगवंदन, गाये गणपति जगवंदन। मांगत योगी जन कर जोरे, मांगत योगी, मांगत योगी जन कर जोरे, बस ही श्री माता जी मानस मोरे, बस ही श्री माता जी मानस मोरे, गाये गणपति जगवंदन, गाये गणपति जगवंदन, गाये गणपति जगवंदन, गाये गणपति जगवंदन, शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन, शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन, गाये गणपति जगवंदन, गाये 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 गणपति जगवंदन।
Shree Mataji भैया, you may start now.
Shree Mataji, to one and all, a very warm welcome to our session this morning. As you are well aware, we are having 3 sessions every day for new seekers to learn more about Sahaja Yoga. One session is in the morning at 8 a.m., one in the afternoon at 4:15, and one in the evening at 7:45 p.m. The idea behind these sessions is to give a basic introduction about Sahaja Yoga and talk a little bit about our subtle system, and then go for the most important bit, that is the self-realization. At the end, we take any questions that you may have, or if you want to share any experiences, you can come on the Zoom link or on YouTube chat. We can do that. This is what we are going to do in the next hour or so. Apart from this, we have one session in the evening at 5:30 p.m. that is done daily as well for seekers who have understood the basics and now want to go deeper into meditation. So that session is also there. We have all these sessions in Hindi except on Saturday and Sunday morning. On Saturday morning, we have one session in Marathi, and Sunday morning, we have one session in English for seekers who requested to learn about Sahaja Yoga in other languages as well. So we won't spend any more time now and just start the session today. We'll start by talking a little bit about what is Sahaja Yoga, what is it that we have to expect when we say self-realization, and what do we get out of it? How is it different from others? Sahaj Yoga, the word coined by Shree Mataji Nirmala Devi, whose photograph you can see here, in 1970, literally means Sahaj in a way means simple, spontaneous. Sahaja, Saha means with, Ja means born. Something that is so spontaneous and simple that it is actually born with you. Like our breathing, it happens spontaneously. All living processes, like the blossoming of a flower, turning of a fruit into a tree, these are all spontaneous things. And we know that they're happening, but just when and how it will happen exactly, that is also very difficult to say. And you cannot pull the primule out of a seed to make it a tree or make a flower blossom. They happen on their own. So spontaneous living processes happen on their own. The same way our yoga, that means our union with the divine. Our union means of the spirit that is inside all of us with the divine energy. That union is what is yoga. Yoga literally means adding up, union. So this union happens spontaneously, is why Shree Mataji named it Sahaja Yoga. It is not a new method. It is the same old method that we have been hearing about. We have had so many instances of gurus, of real saints, of Rishi Munis going into the hills and dales and searching for God. This is what they have been searching for. This is self realization. This is Atma Sakshatkar that we are talking about here. So the name Sahaj Yoga becomes clear now. And we understand that, in fact, it is an effortless thing. There's nothing that actually can be done for it. It is just given by someone who is realized to someone who is seeking realization. That is the system we used to have in our country, this great country of ours, where so many realized souls have come at different points of time. And they have been known in the very early days as Rishi Munis, etc. And they used to give realization to one person. That was the way it was done in our country, where one guru, one Shishya Parampara was there. So one guru would choose a disciple out of thousands, maybe, and give realization to that person. Today, the Sahaj, Shrimataji says, has become a Mahayog because now the time has come for people to get it en masse. Normal household living people like us, people who are living their daily lives, who cannot go to hills and dales now, but there's a dire need for them to get their self realization. We can understand that the times are such, we call them Ghor Kali Yuga. Now, in these times, we have no time for ourselves. Even to sit for meditation in the morning and evening becomes difficult, even at home. So, to talk about even to going someplace for so much time and then meditating and then maybe you get it is such a difficult thing. So, with time and age, this this method has also evolved by Shrimataji's grace. In 1970, she found out a way to give self-realization amas. And that is how Sahaj Yoga started and is now spread across 150 countries, practiced by people of all religions, all types that you can think of. Now, the question comes to mind that, how is this different from other methods that have come up? So many gurus we see now, so many organizations that have come up. There are a couple of things that we should always understand when we do this analysis. Is one, we are expecting what? We don't even know that clearly. We are seeking God. Seeking of God can only be through self realization. That is a mechanism that has been inbuilt inside of us. We are very great inside, and God has already done all the preparation for us to get our self realization. And through self realization only, we know God, we seek the higher self, whatever we may call it. We seek the peace, the inner bliss. All of that has been meant for us and has been created inside of us. So, first point is that we should be getting our self realization wherever we look at. The other thing is that Shree Mataji has from day one kept Sahaja completely non-monetized. So there's no money given or taken for your self-realization. It's just people like us talking to each other. And once you have got it, you can give realization to others. So there's no money-making business or such inside you. Wherever you find something like this, one should realize that this is not really God's work. You cannot give money for your ascent. We did not do all of these things when we became human beings, right? So, or we cannot pay any money to Mother Earth to make a tree out of a seed. Similarly, for our ascent, for our evolution, which is the self realization, we actually cannot pay. We actually even cannot do anything. So, people who think that doing yoga means asana, that's just one very, very small bit of the Ashtanga yogas that were talked about by Patanjali in the past. Yam, Niyam, Pranayam, Pratyahar, so many things were there, and one part of that was asana, which was done to keep ourselves all right so that we can do the tapasya and get to God, etc. So, any activity that we think of, or mental activities, or breathing activities, or exercises, or any such thing that we think can actually lead to our self realization, these are all outward things. It's like first the car has to start. Without the car starting, if we move the wheel or we try to do something with it, we'll only ruin it, which is what we've been doing now. With all of these methods that are coming up, many of them are really just to befool us. And so many we figure out of these gurus that later, they are not really gurus. So this is a real time of confusion. And there are a few things that we should focus on, as we talked about, is our self-realization. Who is actually talking about giving our self-realization? The other thing we do not know is what to expect when we get our self-realization. So when we get our self-realization, our Kundalini awakens and we get connected to God. For the first time, we feel the presence of the God that we call by whichever name all around us. In Hindu religion, at least, we've been hearing from a childhood that kan kan mein Bhagwan. That is, every molecule there is God. But we've never actually felt Him. So for the first time, we feel the power flowing through us and we feel them as cool breeze on our hands in meditation. And we feel our internal subtle system, what's the status, and we can use this power to cure ourselves, cure others, give realization to others. We can see what chakras are not okay with others. We can take our life decisions with these by asking absolute questions. So much comes to us as a completely new awareness. This new awareness is the proof of us getting a realization. Something that was completely unknown to us. We did not see the world in a complete picture till now because we were not aware of it. With this awakening inside of us, we can see the reality and the truth. We can know about anybody standing in front of us, whether this is a real person or a crook. Even if today God Himself comes up in front of us, we actually cannot recognize We may say you've just dressed up or something like that. Or he may not even have dressed up and we cannot recognize because we do not have the eyes to really know the truth. With this self realization, we get those eyes and we can see for ourselves what is the reality. These vibrations that we talked about, we'll touch upon them again, but they have been described in Saundarya Lahari by Adi Guru Shankaracharya as Salilam Salilam Chaitanya. He says, when Mother's grace dawns upon us, we feel Salilam Salilam. That means cool breeze flowing through us. In Bible, it is called as the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. In Quran, it's said that when Qiyamah, that means resurrection time will come, your hands will speak and will give witness against you. All these things that have been talked about, and there are so many others that we have heard of times that when we will get something higher that has been promised. We just hear them and we do not actually believe that that can happen with us. But the fact is that in all of this mire, these times of great confusion and so many things that are wrong with this world, there has to be the truth. If there's a creator, he is worried about us, and his job is to give us what he promised, what he thinks is the best. He's not just left us like this. So all of that has been already done and prepared inside of us. And it's just about us getting our self-realization with a pure desire. What we'll do now is quickly talk about our internal subtle system that will depict how we are from the inside. So we all look different. We think that we are all made differently. But from the inside, we'll all have this system built in inside of us. When we were in our mother's womb, the power that created us, we can say, entered through the fontanelle bone area here at 2.5 months and created all of this. So, for example, there was one power that entered, and our brain, being a prism shaped entity, it entered and refracted into three parts. The one coming from the right went to the left, that is the blue colored one that we see. The one coming from the left went to the right, that is the yellow colored one that we see. And the one in the center created all these flower like things that we see here, which are called as chakras or energy centers. The power that was the residual energy that got left came down and settled at the end of our spine. There's a bone called sacrum bone, which literally means the sacred bone. It settled down there in coils, 3.5 coils. Coils means kundal in Sanskrit. And this being the mother power is called as kundalini. She's with us in all our lives and knows everything about us and is our individual mother. So we all have an individual mother who is with us in all our lives, and her only job is to give us our second birth. Self-realization is also called as second birth. And people who know the Brahman really are called as Dvijaha. That means twice born. A bird is also called as twice born because it comes as an egg first and does not really see the world as it is. Then it breaks through and it comes out and sees what the world is really. So this is the Kundalini inside of us. When we were kids, children are called as forms of God, because they were still self-aware, they were connected. This part you see in children is very soft and it pulsates. But later he develops his ego, superego, and so many things, and this calcification happens and the connection gets lost. Establishing that connection again with the divine is our self-realization. Now, to quickly touch upon the three channels inside of us, whatever thoughts we have, and we realize that we keep thinking all the time. There's not a moment that goes actually without thinking. They all either come from our past or from our future. And these two channels that we see on the left and right are actually representing that. On the left hand side that we see, is called as Ida Nadi. Ida Nadi is responsible for all our emotions, all our desires, and everything that is past within us is stored here. So, Ida Nadi is when we use it too much, it becomes very cold. This being the moon channel, and it takes care of our left sympathetic nervous system. When we use it too much, so in Sahaja, we understand that whichever part we use too much, it gets ruined and we develop diseases or problems because of that. So, for example, if we use this channel too much, we can develop psychosomatic diseases inside us, which are normally called as incurable diseases. Or there could be people who just are very depressed and things like that. But we can put this right in meditation and get rid of these diseases. This we feel on the left palm in meditation, the status of this channel. Similarly, on the right hand side, we see in yellow is what is called as the Pingla Nadi. This is the channel of action. So, left was the channel of desires, right is the channel of action. Left was the channel of our past, right is the channel of future. And people who are very, very ambitious, who are very futuristic, who are thinking of, how I'll do this, how I'll do that, and conquer the world, etc. Such people are working too much on the right channel. All our physical activity and our mental activity happens through the right channel, which is called as the Pingala Nadi. Our sympathetic nervous system on the right hand side is taken care of by the Pingala Nadi. Again, we feel this channel on our right palm. And this being the sun channel gets heated up a lot for people who are using this channel too much, and they develop several diseases because of that. After this, we see in the center is what is called as the Sushumna Nadi. This channel is actually the channel of our present. So when we said that we are always thinking of either the past or the future, we are never in the present. And we keep jumping from one thought to another. So when Kundalini awakens on the central path, the first thing that we get is Nirvichar Chetna. We get into a thoughtless awareness. And that is the first moment of peace and bliss that we get. So Sushumna Nadi is the channel for Kundalini to rise up. That means we have to be completely balanced for this to work out. People who lead a balanced life, a normal life, are much easier to get their self-realization than people who have very extreme natures, maybe big achievers in their lives, but they may not get it easily. Now, we'll quickly touch upon the various chakras inside us. So, these energy centers that are built in are also on the physical side, taking care of various organs inside us. They're also taking care of our mental being at different stages, and of course, the spiritual being, emotional being as well. So there are various aspects to each chakra, and there are various reasons for it to be not okay. And we'll just try to touch upon some of them right now to give you a flavor of how things work out inside us. The first one that we see at the very end is called as the Mooladhara chakra. This chakra is responsible for our innocence, the childlike innocence that we have. Many people have it, and most people these days don't have it because we've become cunning, we've become people who want to take advantage of others, or we've become people who are not thinking right things in terms of sex, etc., going in wrong directions. So such kind of things are also going against the chakra. When this chakra is awakened, we get that childlike innocence. We get the pure wisdom of what to do, what not to do in life. And this is especially very, very helpful in children, this wisdom, because they know what decisions to take later on in life. When this chakra is caught up, we can understand that It takes care of our excretion and sex related organs. All of them or one of them could get into trouble because of this chakra getting caught up. When Kundalini awakens, it gives energy to the center and the, the organs are put right, and we get the blessings of this chakra that is mentioned here. We can feel this chakra on this point where our palm meets our arm on both sides. So every chakra has three parts on the left, right, and center, and they're caught up because of different reasons. Now, after this comes the Swadhisthana chakra, which we see in yellow. This chakra is responsible for all our creativity, as is mentioned here, because this is the chakra that holds the creative powers, and all art forms come from here. Whatever work we do, the dynamism of that work comes from here. This is also the place for pure knowledge. And that pure knowledge is the knowledge of the divine, of God. When we go to impure knowledges, that means to places like tantrikas or any such related thing, which we may not yet realize are related to that knowledge. But when we go to such people, we get caught up here on the left hand side. Whereas on the right hand side, we can see that the yellow channel, the Pingla Nadi, it starts from Swadhisthana chakra. So all our activity, everything that gets taken care of by Swadhisthana to a great extent, and all our mental activity, in fact, gets taken care of by Swadhisthana. Swadhisthana, we can see, takes care of our liver, pancreas, spleen, so many organs, uterus in women. And people who think a lot actually are using their gray cells in the brain, are using up Swadhisthana a lot, because these gray cells are provided by Swadhisthana chakra, which converts the fat cells into gray cells. So people who are thinking a lot, planning a lot, working a lot in office are using up this chakra a lot. And you can see that it's these kind of people who develop liver troubles or diabetes, things like that. Because this chakra is not able to take care of the rest of the organs that it is supposed to. So this is one of the aspects of Swadhisthana chakra. All of these things can be put right when in meditation we can put this chakra all right, bring it into balance, and we also get real creative powers. Many people develop art forms in Sahaja once they get the realization. We can feel this chakra on both of our thumbs, on the left and right side. After this comes the Nabhi chakra. This is the navel center, also called as Manipur chakra. We feel it on both our middle fingers. All these chakras are actually behind in our back, in the backbone. Now, this chakra gives us complete bliss of um, a balanced life. That is, in terms of our household life with a wife or husband, or monetarily, how we are doing in our life, in our career. All these things are given as a boon of this chakra. And when we are satisfied with these things, that's the real boon that we get from this chakra of satisfaction in life. We are generous to others. We welcome them to our houses. We are people who are helping others, giving them ashray all the time. And one other aspect of this chakra is the seeking that is inside us. So, in animal stage, we were maybe seeking in terms of food, etc. In human stage, we started seeking in money, power, family, fame, and so many things. Slowly and gradually, that seeking turns towards God. When that happens, we get to our self-realization and we get our evolution. So our evolution has come also because of the seeking. It was first the seeking of a fish to figure out what's on the land that reptiles were born of. So that is how a very great boon is the seeking. People who are caught up on this chakra are usually who are very unsatisfied people, maybe because of their career, or maybe life is not okay in their families, etc. Around this, we see is what is called as the Bhavsagar in green. Bhavsagar, we have heard the reference quite a few times. This is the place where Kundalini does not have, the Sushumna is not built up. But when Kundalini rises, crosses Swadhisthana, that sopan, that bridge is built in for it to pass through the Bhavsagar. Now, this is the place for that has been created by great masters who took birth at different points of time in different regions of the world. And we think they're all very different people, but there were 10 such great masters who came and they established the dharma inside of us. The real religion, that is the human religion that has been established here. When we go against that religion, this is gotten. When we take to wrong gurus as real gurus, this chakra is also gotten. You can see for very simple that if we see something very bad happening, we end up puking because the dharma says that this is not okay. This is represented around the very center of our palms in both hands. After this comes the Anhat chakra, or we can call it the heart chakra. It's right behind the sternum bone. This is the place for our security at the very center, our self-confidence, our confidence that God Almighty is taking care of us. When that confidence is shaken up by something, then the chakra is caught up. For example, children who fall sick a lot are the ones who are afraid a lot. Women who have some sort of insecurities by their husbands or families may develop breast cancer. So there are such things that directly relate to our physical being as well. On the right hand side is the place for our maryadas, our ideals of how we should lead an ideal life, and an ideal father, an ideal king, an ideal son. All of them has been established here. When we go against those ideals, we ruin this chakra. There's also the place of the father principle inside of us. If your father is not okay or not with you since childhood, you have developed maybe asthma. Or if you're not a good father, etc., then it's also got to. Similarly, on the left hand side is the mother principle. Left hand side we see here is the spirit, the Atma inside us. This is actually a reflection of the Param Atma in all of us. And this is the only real thing that we can say that we are, because none of the other things are Shashwat. That means eternal. This is the only eternal thing. And it is there all the time watching and is a witness to all that we do. When the Kundalini awakens, Atma comes into our attention. And that is how Atma Sakshatkar happens. This is the place for love and compassion inside of us as well. We feel this chakra on the small little fingers on left and right hand side. After this comes the Vishuddhi chakra. This chakra takes care of our complete communication. So our face, eyes, ear, nose, external part of eyes, that is, throat, tongue, even our hands. So all that we use in communication is taken care of by this chakra. This communication is what gives us collectivity. We become collective and we know that we are part and parcel of a macrocosm. We are the microcosms. This collectivity is not a mental thing that comes to us that is there today, that we create large world organizations and all. But this comes when we get our self-realization. Then we truly, truly know that we are part and parcel of the whole. And that we can see this world as a game, a leela that it is. We get that witness state once this chakra is awakened. Great qualities to talk about. But let's say the reasons for this chakra to get caught up on the left-hand side especially is because we feel guilty a lot. We think, oh, I'm good for nothing. I've done this bad, that bad, I'm worthless, etc., etc. So when we say bad things to ourselves, the chakra is caught up here. And it is very detrimental for Sahaja Yoga, especially because you see the nerves for our hands come from this chakra. 16,000 nerves cross this chakra. And this plexus also has 16 subplexuses. So when these nerves are not okay, we do not feel the vibrations. So it's a condition for us to not feel guilty to get our realization. On the right hand side, this is caught up when we dominate others with our words. We shout at them, we use bad words, we are very bombastic, talk a lot, or even with tobacco consumption, this is caught up. So we understand that Vishuddhi is very important for us to get our first experience in our hands of the vibrations flowing through. After this comes, so Vishuddhi is represented on our index fingers. After this comes the Agya Chakra, which is inside our brain. You can say there is a optic chiasma. Literally, the nerves are crossing there like this, as is shown here. It's a very small space for Kundalini to pass through. This chakra is caught up only when we aren't able to forgive. The great quality of this chakra is forgiveness. It's a small pass for Kundalini to pass through, and people often find it difficult to forgive. But as soon as we forgive, a great thing happens inside us. So after Agya, we can see there are two balloon-like things that are built in all of us. One or the other is dominating the other. Some people are more super egoistic. Some people are more egoistic. Super ego means the conditionings. So we always run by conditionings. Our whole life is run by conditions that we have learned in our life. Whereas people who have worked a lot or maybe achieved something worldly, they become very egoistic. So one or the other is always dominating. And this path for Kundalini to pass through is not opened up. But as soon as we forgive on the Agya Chakra, Kundalini passes through Agya and it sucks in both of these entities. So in a way, Kundalini eats up our karmas that we think of so highly. This chakra is represented on our ring fingers on both the hands. After this comes the Sahasrara chakra. Literally means the 1,000-petal chakra because it has 1,000 petals. This is the door. This is called as the 10th door, the Brahmarandra. Brahma means the divine. Randra means the hole to make the divine. This is the place for us to really get our connection, our union with the divine. All our chakras get integrated in this chakra later on, and we also become an integrated personality. The power that we talked about, the vibrations, they start flowing through here. On our hands, we feel that on the top of our head here. So there's a lot to talk about in Sahaja Yoga, but for the theory part, this is good enough. We'll move towards the more important bit, the most important bit, that is our self-realization. There are a few steps that we can see right now with our eyes open, and later on we can do that with our eyes closed. First, we balance ourselves using 5 elements. There are various methods. We'll use a couple of them right now. And we'll keep the left hand like this open in our lap and the right hand on the Mother Earth. As a first step, this is for cleansing our left channel. After this, we keep the right hand in our lap and put the left hand bent like this towards the sky. This is for cleansing our right channel. After this, we put both our hands on the Mother Earth. Now, we bring our left hand to our lap and we do the next steps with the right hand. We put the right hand on our heart where we feel the heartbeat. We press it here and we have some prayers that we do. Then we bring this to our forehead. Place it across like we would in a headache. Bend the head forward a little. Now we take this hand at the back of our head where we place the pillow. Push back the head towards the sky. In the last step, we'll stretch our palm with fingers outstretched completely and place this at the very top of our frontal bone area. Press it hard. While pressing will move it in a clockwise direction so that the scalp moves along with our hand. These are all the steps that we'll do. Now, one very important thing to understand that this happens because of Shree Mataji's grace. And this is something that we can accept for now, and let's see if this works out. Shree Mataji's photograph has those vibrations that this great thing of self-realization, this great job happens inside of us. She's the one who can give it. We have to just become the ones who can take it. So, with complete humility and complete respect, we will look at Shree Mataji's photograph, put aside all our thoughts. We'll open both our hands in our lap. The only thought that we have to keep is a pure desire to get our self realization. If we don't have this, we will not get it. So we'll tell all our thoughts and doubts to just wait for a while. While looking at mother's photograph, we'll slowly close our eyes and bring our attention inside. We'll sit a little straight, not slouched, not very straight. Now, we will do the steps that we had just seen. We'll keep the left hand in our lap as is and put the right hand on the Mother Earth. Here, we will pray, Mother, please take out all the impurities of my Ida Nadi through the Mother Earth. Mother, please take out all the imbalances of my left channel through Mother Earth. Mother, please bring my Ida Nadi into complete balance. We'll see what is happening on our left palm. Now bring the right hand back into our lap and put the left hand bent from the elbow towards the sky. Here we have to pray that Mother, please take out all the negativities of my right channel through the ether element sky. Mother, please take out all the imbalances of my Pingla Nadi through the ether element. We pay attention to both our palms and see what is happening. Mother, please bring my Pingla Nadi into complete balance. Now, we'll place both the hands on the Mother Earth. Here we have to ask, Mother, please bring me into complete balance. Whatever imbalances or impurities are still left in my Ida and Pingla Nadis, please take them out through the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring me into the present, into the center, into complete balance. We'll bring both our hands into our lap now and keep the left hand as is in our lap. We'll do the next steps with the right hand. We'll place the right hand on our heart. We'll press it a little. Here is the place of the spirit inside us. We had seen that this is the only eternal being. We are actually not this mind, this body, these thoughts, this person, XYZ, whatever we think of ourselves. But in reality, we are the spirit. We are nothing but the spirit. So we assert this truth, and we say that, Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am nothing but the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. We say it with full confidence. Mother, I am the pure spirit. It's because we are the pure spirit, we have done nothing wrong. We've seen that feeling guilty is very detrimental to us. So we'll say it with full confidence again that, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Whatever we think we may have done, we leave it to God to decide. We don't decide for ourselves. We say, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we bring this right hand to our forehead and place it across as we would when we would have a headache. We'll bend our head forward a little while pressing our forehead from both ends. Here we have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive everyone. Don't have to remember anyone. Don't have to think of anyone. Just a blanket forgiveness. When we forgive, we actually leave it to God to decide. So we must forgive and let Him decide and take over. Mother, I forgive everyone. Now we bring this hand at the back of our head where we place the pillow and push back our head towards the sky. We'll say that, Mother, if knowingly or unknowingly we've done any wrong, please forgive us. O God Almighty, knowingly or unknowingly, if I have done any mistake against you, please forgive me. Bring the hand back into her lap for a bit to rest it. Now we'll bring this hand at the top of our head on the frontal bone area and stretch the fingers backward. Place the very center of our palm at the top of our head and press it hard. Now while pressing, We'll move the hand in a clockwise direction so that the scalp moves along with the hand. Here we have to very humbly ask for it. Without us asking for it, we cannot get our realization. So we pray, Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me my union with the divine. Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please give me my self realization. Bring the hand back into a lap. Keep our attention where the hand was and sit for a few seconds. We'll bring the right hand back at the top of our head and raise it a little just above the frontal bone area. See if there's a cool breeze coming out of our head and touching our hand. You can move the hand left, right, forward, backward a little to see it will be coming from a particular place. Could be a very subtle feeling, so look at it minutely, little. Bring the right hand back into a lap and check the same thing with the left hand. Place the left hand a little above our frontal bone area. Move it backward, forward a little. Some people may be getting warm as well. It's not an issue. The fact that we are getting a breeze coming out of our head and touching our hand is important. As the last step, we'll put both our hands completely towards the sky, elbows straight, palms open towards the sky, and our head pushed back. We'll ask one question here that, oh God, is this the Param Chetan? Is this the power that runs everything in the world? Is this the power of love of God? I'll ask any one of the questions 3 times. In answer, your vibrations will improve on the hands. You bring the hands down back into our lap. Keep our attention again on the top of our head, on the frontal bone area, and sit for meditation for a few seconds. We will also bring our attention to our hands, our palms. See if there is a cool breeze. Could be hot also in one hand or both hands. We'll also see in some of the fingers there could be a tickling sensation. Could be because of that chakra might be caught up for some reasons. We'll just watch. Now bring our attention back to the top of our head on the frontal bone area. Slowly open our eyes and look at Shree Mataji's photograph. You can see that there are no thoughts right now. This is the first step, Nirvichar Chetna. Even with our eyes open, there are no thoughts. Bring our hands in Namaskar to Shree Mataji and our Kundalini inside and thank them for this blissful experience. Jai Shree Mataji. For those of us who have joined for first or second time, I would request you to please continue this for some days to really establish the experience and understand what is happening here. It is our dire responsibility to establish ourselves once we get our realization. You can learn more about how to connect and how to meditate. Didi will now help us understand that. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji. Um, those who have connected first time, please see WhatsApp chat. In WhatsApp chat, we have sent 4 links. First link is our WhatsApp group link. Please check YouTube live chat box. In YouTube live chat box, we had shared 4 links. First link is WhatsApp group link. Those who have not joined WhatsApp group, please join our WhatsApp group. You will get all the information and updates about Sahaja Yoga and all the sessions via WhatsApp group. Second link is Zoom meeting link. Uh, Seekers who has any question can join Zoom meeting link and ask their question. We try to resolve their queries, their questions, so that they can easily connect with Sahaja Yoga and can get their realization. Third and fourth link is our YouTube channel link. On YouTube, we have 2 channels. First is where you are attending online meditation, and second is for Shree Mataji speeches. Both the channels are completely non-monetized, as Bhaiya already explained you in beginning of the session. So the purpose of these sessions are you can get your self-realization at your own place. So please share this link to the people who are really seeking for a God. In this channel, there are 3 sessions going on for the self-realization. First is at 8 a.m., second is at 4:15 p.m., and five third is 7:45 p.m. And person who has attending this session for 15 to 20 days and now has complete understanding about all the chakras, nadis, and Sahaja Yoga can join deep meditation session which held on 5 p.m. on a daily basis. Yeah. Um, where there is no questions.
Let's take Shri Mataji's permission and move forward.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Shri Mataji, for today's session. If by mistake we have done any misconduct or any wrong, please forgive us. So we are closing the session now. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.